I have a question, if I may interject. Is there anything from the right spectrum that you would not consider to be fascistic?
That's tough. Today, in 2019, I would say no.
I mean, in the literal sense, like
in the literal sense today, if you're a right winger and you're a deep-throated right winger and you're like supporting the Republican Party and you support Trump, you support fascism.
Really, is it the fact that Trump is trying to help out the LGBT community over in the Middle East, that they're killing millions of gays people and saying, look, you guys need to stop killing homosexuals?
That is one of the most disgustingly fucking stupid things I think I've ever heard anyone say in my life, dude.
Really?
So his actually xenophobic anti-Islamophobia is somehow pro-LGBTQ. He's trying to fucking take away their status in the military, and he's trying to, there's all kinds of fucking government websites right now that have removed trans from the fucking language, that have removed LGBTQ from the fucking language. They're trying to erase the LGBTQ community.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are, dude. I'm not making this shit up. I don't get on here.
Okay.
Jinx. It's verifiable, homeboy.
Jinx, am I right about the LGBT community, that he's trying to help out the Middle Eastern LGBT community?
Well, that is the proclamation that was made, and I was reading through different sources of media, but like I said, I oftentimes look for other sources of media, and I would like to hear his take on it. It's different than what CNN is going to report. It's different than what Out reports. It's different than what right-leaning media reports. It's a very different perspective, and so I would like to hear the perspective. I would also like, when I talked about if there's anything in the right hemisphere of the of political aspects, not today in 2019, but I mean like in the literal sense of like the political spectrum, is there anything on the right that you would consider not fascistic? I'm really very, very curious about that. Like,
okay, so I do want to come back to the earlier topic, but let me try and answer this thing. Okay, so when you look at I've actually tried to study this and try to find when we first started using the terms left and right. I still haven't been able to sort of pin it down.
Right.
Not for a lot of lack of trying, though. But my understanding of it at this point is that really the designation between being left and right is where you stand in relation to capitalism. If you're pro-capitalist, you're on the right. Now, you can be centrist and center right and center left and have varying degrees of like liberals are pro-capitalist. Liberals are centrist. So like when you listen to the talking heads on Fox and shit, it's going to sound like I've completely blown a gasket and I have brains falling out my ears when I say this. But Bernie and Ocasio-Cortez, they're centrists. Okay. The left is the anarchists and the communists and the socialists, and the right is the far right authoritarian pro-capitalists. Okay. So if you're right wing, now generally, if you're conservative, these are people who, I mean, look at the term for what it is on its face. It's kind of, let's just slow it down a little bit. Let's chill with the change some, okay? And which, that doesn't make you fascist. But what it does make you is very amenable to fascist persuasion. Because one of the things that fascists have always traditionally done, Hitler did this too, was use that, like, we're going to restore you to that golden era. We're going to restore that time when Germany was thriving and great, when we were the great Aryan race, and we're going to return to that. Trump is, we're going to make America great again. So this conservatives, not all, but conservatives tend to be like, that sounds good to me. I want to go back when it was an easier, simpler time. It was, we weren't screaming at each other on TV all day long, and the YouTubes wasn't making all the kids with saggy pants and whatever. Okay, like literally, these guys are like 70. And shit.
So appealing to like nostalgia to try and convert.
Yes, and so just check it out. Don't listen to those socialist crazies, those Bernies. Don't forget my English language. I'm sorry, but don't listen to them, because they're going to bring in all this radical change, and you don't want that, right? Oh no, I don't want that. And it's not. The only radical change is that this handful of people won't be able to lord power over people anymore. That's what we really want to learn. But to answer your question, I kind of went off, but to answer your question, just being on the right or on the conservative spectrum doesn't necessarily make you a fascist. The further you get, the more fascist you get. Like, we were very keen during the Reagan and Bush era. I was critical of people that would call them fascists. Leftists were calling Reagan and Bush fascist a lot, and it just wasn't accurate. But we could see, but a lot of the things that they're doing are making it easier for later down the road for a fascist to come along. Obama helped with it too. Obama did a bunch of stuff that consolidated power into the executive branch on the heels of Bush W. He did historic things consolidating power towards the executive branch. And that was very scary for people on the left, because we went, look, if we get a real fucking demagoguing, fucking scapegoating fascist in office, what Reagan and Bush and Obama and even Bill Clinton have done, it's really made it easy for someone to come in here and just fucking run roughshod and do a lot of fucked off things.